Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you've had an amazing weekend and are ready to have a great week. Today's video is going to be an updated Q&A, so let's get into it. I asked a few of my friends and a few people on Twitter to ask me a couple of questions, and you came through. There's some really good ones, so I can't wait to get answering them. The first question I got asked is, what is my favourite horror movie soundtrack? And instantly Queen of the Damned came to my head. I love the film and I think the music is well established. It goes with the whole tone of the film, and the songs are actually quite enjoyable. Obviously it's a hint of Korn in there, and I love Korn. They're a great band, so instantly Queen of the Damned probably has my favourite horror movie soundtrack. Question 2 was 5 things I am obsessed with. And this is pretty easy for me. Obviously I'm obsessed with films, all genres: Marvel, horror, comedy, paranormal, monster, everything. Number 2, I'm obsessed with music. I cannot go a day without listening to music. 3, Halloween, everything Halloween. The crispy leaves, the early dark nights, the pumpkins, building horror houses, watching spooky films. It's amazing. Number 4, I am obsessed with sunflowers. Sunflowers are my most favourite flower. I just think they're so beautiful. And I think lastly I'll put in there it's a tough one because I want to mention the beach, but I'm not really obsessed with the beach per se. It's more the ocean. I guess I will put ocean because and beaches, because I would do absolutely anything to stand in front of an ocean, just to be peaceful, just to listen to the crashing of the waves and the wind, and I just think that's probably one of the most beautiful things anyone can experience. Third question is YouTube. More importantly, why YouTube? I picked up YouTube because it is a lifelong activity, hobby that I've wanted to do for a long time. I am very self-aware, very self-conscious, and I do take criticism and hate to heart, but luckily I haven't dealt with any of that yet. It's going really well at the moment, which is awesome, but I really wanted to do this because I'm constantly talking about films to people, but nobody really cares and nobody wants to listen. So I thought I'd reach out and find people online, and I have done. I have built a nice little following, and I'm so grateful for each and every single one of you that watch these videos. It means the world. YouTube is probably one of the biggest apps out there, biggest platforms, and I like doing this. I like talking about films, things I like, and getting self-awareness out there for mental health, things I'm so passionate about. And plus it gives me a reason to get out of bed. It gives me a reason to focus on something, plan, and be happy. So yeah, I chose to do YouTube because it helps make me better, it helps make my life better, and I'm just having fun along the way. Question number 4 is my favourite childhood memory. I don't really have I forgot to take my inhaler this morning, whoopsies. I don't really have that many because I don't really remember much of my childhood. I've blocked most of it out due to traumatic events as such. But there are a couple things that I do remember. One specifically being brought up on films with my mom. My mom brought me into the horror world, the 80s and the 90s and stuff like that. She provided me with a bunch of what I enjoy now. She showed me Legend with Tom Cruise. She's the one that told me about Dark Crystal, Jim Henson, Dog Soldiers, Peter Pan, Aliens and all that. My mum is the one that kick-started it all for me. So my favourite childhood memory would be watching films with my mum, because growing up it used to just be me and my mum, and that's all we would do. We would wear matching t-shirts and shorts, eat snacks and watch movies. I think that's probably one of the top childhood memories I have. Number 5 is my top most embarrassing moment. Now, I don't really have any embarrassing moments because I don't really ever get embarrassed. I don't really put myself in a position to be embarrassed. But probably a time where I was on karaoke would probably be an embarrassing time, because I don't like to sing in front of people, and I was sober at the time. So when I'm drunk I'm okay with it, but I was sober at the time and I didn't really feel comfortable. So I think that probably would have been an embarrassing moment. My top karaoke songs are the Rocky Horror Picture Show, Time Warp, and I do enjoy doing a bit of like rock music, like Evanescence or something like that. That would be cool. But yeah, I don't really have an embarrassing moment, luckily enough, or that I can remember. Again, I've probably blocked it out. But yeah, probably singing on karaoke is probably one of the top embarrassing moments, because I am such an awkward human. Question 6 is 3 wishes, and what would they be? If I had 3 wishes, I really would only need one. I would only need one, and it would be a very selfish one, and it would be just for me, and it would just be to cure all my mental health. It's simple. It would generally just be to clear up all of my mental health, because it's something that's set me back a lot. It's something that has ruined a lot of things for me, career opportunities, relationships, achievements in life, goals, milestones. It's ruined a lot of things, so I would like to clear up my mental health if I had the chance. I think the other 2 wishes would just be kind of things like I'd like a little travel time machine or something, so I could go back in time or forward in time, or I could travel anywhere in the world. Like I'd like my own TARDIS, I think. And then for my next one, I think that I would like to own Marvel Studios. I think those would be like my top 3 wishes. No more mental health, a travel box, time machine, so I could go anywhere, everywhere, and to own Marvel. I think those are pretty solid wishes, to be honest. How about you? What would you like to wish? Let me know down below. The next question I got, number 7, is my perfect date. Now, a perfect date for me is a movie, getting to know each other, you know, do something fun, maybe go to like an escape room, go bowling, take a walk along a river, in a park, I don't know. Nothing extravagant. I know a lot of people go out of their way to like make it like the most special thing, but I'd love to go to like a fun fair, to the cinema, something like that, because it doesn't really need to be mind-blowing. It doesn't need to be a lot. I'm a very easily amused person, an easily pleased person. So for me, a perfect date would be getting picked up or meeting a person, joking, making puns, innuendos, you know, bouncing off each other's sarcasm, maybe going to a tapas bar, you know, having a load of food out, sharing it, or just going straight to like an activity and just snacking and stuff. I don't know, anything like that would be perfect for me. As for like certain places to go, I think you should take that person somewhere that you know both of you are going to like, for sure. But yeah, I'm not like extravagant, don't want anything big, something nice, small that we like and will enjoy. Again, it's not about like the quality or like the quantity, you know, of money and expense and stuff, and like going to like the best place. It's just about the time and the vibe and the way you feel. If you're comfortable and you're happy, nothing else really matters. The next question I got asked was a very interesting question by one of my family members. A Marvel and DC Royal Rumble, last team standing, who wins? And honestly, it is a very difficult question to answer because both universes have like amazing characters, such amazing characters. Like, can you imagine like Scarlet Witch and Superman going up against each other, or Thanos and Darkseid, and like it's just mental. There's just so many people, like, oh, Makari and the Flash, a Batman and Iron Man. It's just, there's a lot, and I think Marvel would have the upper hand, absolutely, but DC are dark and dirty. Like, they have the Joker. They have the Joker who will go to absolutely no lengths. I don't really think we have anybody that kind of sadistic and that violent in the Marvel universe yet. So I think DC would have the upper hand if all the characters from every universe and all of them just came up against each other. It would be the biggest blowout you'd ever see. And knowing like Batman and Iron Man, they'd be like trying to find the peace and serenity between everybody and make everybody be best friends. So yeah, I can't really answer that, but if I had to, I would say DC would win, or have like the better chance because they are the darker side, and they would play dirty. The next question was what colour lightsaber I would have, and easy enough, it would be blue. For justice, serenity and truth, honour and all the good stuff. It just speaks to me more because I aspire to have serenity, I aspire to be honourable, always telling the truth and fighting for justice. What would yours be down below? If you're a fan of Star Wars, let me know. The next question I got asked was, what is your dream job? Now, I had two very big dream jobs growing up, and I still have them dear to me now. Actually, if I had the chance, I would just jump at it. Number one is to be a museum curator. I would like to work in a museum, study all the historical facts, learn absolutely everything there is to know. I was so involved and in love with history in high school. It was the best subject until I had to drop it and move on from it to carry on my college degree. The next dream job that I wanted was to be an interviewer for like magazines and stuff, for the red carpet, things like that, because it would be for films and things like that, and I just feel like I would be more open to that and more confident on that, and being able to talk about my passion again with people who I aspire to and admire would just be amazing. But the museum thing is like higher up than the interviewer thing, because the museums were just immaculate, beautiful buildings that just deserve love and to be cared for and to be learned and understood. So yeah, those would be my two dream jobs. The next question on my list I got asked is what are my favourite found footage horror movies? And easily enough, Wreck and Quarantine are on there. They were so creepy the first time I watched them. Blair Witch Project is always going to be impactful. The Taking of Deborah Logan is fantastic. The VHS ones creeped me out because they kept the names of the actors as the characters, which just like freaked me out. Then it made me think that it was all real and stuff. I didn't like it. It scared me a lot. As Above, So Below is another one, completely freaky. And the Poughkeepsie tapes, mental. There's a lot of found footage movies. There's a lot more out there that I need to check out, but those ones, off the tip of my tongue, are probably the ones that are my most liked. Like Paranormal Activity, the very first one when that came out, when she sleepwalks, it goes down and he goes after her and it's all black and dark and all of a sudden he just gets launched at the camera. That's a jump scare. Another question I got asked is, tell us a random fact. And one random fact that I found out is that there are black apples, a black diamond apple to be precise. Look it up, it's pretty rare, but they look so beautiful and yummy. The next question is, name your favourite Marvel comic and your favourite DC comic. So my favourite Marvel comic is Marvel Zombies. I recently just read that and it is fantastic. My favourite DC comic is the New 52 Comics Endgame, where Batman and the Joker really battle to the death, and the artwork and storytelling in both comics is flawless. The detail, it's incredible, it's spectacular, and I'm really proud of the growth that my comic book collection's kind of gotten lately. It's only going to go up from here. I only have two more questions now. The second to last question is what is your favourite film that you've watched lately? And it's kind of a tie. It's kind of a tie between Fall and Top Gun Maverick. Both films completely diverse and different in plotline, genre, storytelling, everything. Fall is about two girls who climb the B67 tower and get stuck there, and obviously you know the rest. And Top Gun Maverick is the sequel to Top Gun. And they're both completely different, but both of them have made me feel so much emotion, and they both impacted me very much. And as I always say, when I watch a film, I look into that film for it to give me a sense of self, a kind of sense of change. I want it to grip me, I want it to change me, I want it to be I want it to move me, and both films did exactly that, which means they're probably the most favourite of films I've seen this year, I guess. There's a lot I've seen this year though, but those two recently, because I've seen Top Gun Maverick like 4 times now, but I've only seen Fall once, but I will probably watch Fall again, because it was a nerve-wracking, nail-biting, keep you on the edge of your seat roller coaster. There's so many ways to describe the film. If you haven't watched both of those films yet, I definitely recommend you do. This Friday I will be doing a talking review on Fall if you want to check that out. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Also, if you've had any recent favourite watches of yours, let me know down below. We're on to the last question now. If you've made it around this far, I'm really happy you're here. And if you have any answers to these questions, don't be afraid to let me know down below. The last question is, what is my favourite genre of horror? And also name 5 least favourite horrors and 5 favourite horrors. So first of all, my favourite genre of horror is just horror. It's just no subgenre, no nothing, just horror. It has to horrify me, it has to terrify me, it has to be full of nerve shrieking, paralyzing fear. That's why I enjoy a lot of the more darker tones of horror, like the sadness is incredibly dark. I love films just like that, that are filled with violence and terror and blood and gore. I can't really just choose one thing. It's just horror and everything that comes under it, because there's so many different tones of horror. Because like, take the sadness for instance. If you've seen the sadness, you know what I mean. And then let's move over to Paranormal Activity. It's just, that is on edge terror, jumpy, it's intense, you don't know what's going to jump out at you. Whereas the sadness, it is just go, go, go. It's all in your face. There's blood, there's guts, there's a lot in the film that I don't really want to disclose on YouTube, because it is not very much for the faint-hearted. So you have mixed genres within. Sorry, I heard something. Never mind. So there's mixed, there's changes, there's all sorts everywhere, and I can't really choose. Moving on to the next one. 5 favourite horrors and 5 least favourite horrors. So right now I have my 5 that I picked from my shelf. So first off, Scream. Undoubtedly, it's fantastic. It's absolutely immaculate. Cannot fault it. Halloween, definitely. Come on. The Exorcist. This film astonishes me every time I watch it. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's just beautiful. The storytelling and the picture, the actors, everything, the dial. Oh, it's just fantastic. And I don't think the remake that Jason Blum is trying to do will ever actually change how much of a staple this one actually is. The Fog. This would be number 4 for me in this pile. I think the knock is just terrifying. Lock your doors, bolt your windows. There's something coming. Terrifying. And then, obviously, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Specifically the 1974 version. I believe this film to be ever-changing. Once you've seen this film, I think it'll just change your life. It'll just change the way you think about the horror genre. And the rest of them in this franchise are brilliant, but this one just holds a very special place in my heart. So yeah, I just want to show those ones, just for preference and visualization and everything. As for 5 least horror films, I don't really have any at all. I don't think there's ever been a horror film I've watched that I've not really enjoyed. None that actually spring to mind. Like, it's just impossible for me to think. Regular films, yes. There's a lot of like common films like in the comedy genre or the action genre or like the drama genre or rom-com genre. I can pick some from there, but not in the horror genre. I don't really think it's possible. There's just so many films that I enjoy, and I just couldn't really choose any horror films that I don't like. I'm trying to think one off the top of my head, but I just can't. I really cannot. I love the horror genre so much that picking a fault with it is just damn near impossible. So there we go, guys. I think that's roughly about 15 questions. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got to know me a little bit better again. It's been a crazy couple months doing this and making a little following for myself, making this channel. I hope this reaches more people. And if you again have any answers to these questions, let me know down below. I'd love to know more about you. And I will see you in my next video on Friday. Guys, stay healthy, stay safe. Bye.